Heyo and welcome to another episode of Pine Harbor County, where we will use and abuse the new operating district mechanic that was introduced in Cities Skylines 2, and be utterly abused by the natural disasters that come with this game, destroying everything we built. It's okay. It'll grow back. In the last episode, we finished constructing Wisteria Crossings with transit-oriented development in mind, ample services, and public transportation. So if you happen to miss the last episode, then click on the info card above, or if you're looking for a new Cities Skylines 2 series to binge watch, then check out the entire Build&Beautify Season 1 playlist located in the description below. And yes, good tornado, go away from the beautiful train station, please. In today's episode, we're going to build the city of Alder's Bend with our new French creator content pack that was recently launched. Originally, I had planned to deep dive into the imported services tab and see if we can decrease our ambulance need, but alas, the game bested me. I added multiple hospitals, and either one, the game is running too slow for me to see any changes in the average health of our citizens, or two, the additional services did not help at all. But before we begin, I am wicked excited to announce that our channel hit its first milestone and now has channel memberships, merchandise, and highlighted comments available for those who want to help the channel become more financially self-sustainable. So if you're looking for a new mug to drink your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice from, or a new hoodie to snuggle up and binge watch Pine Harbor County in, then check out the link to the merchandise store located in the description below. Or feel free to subscribe to channel memberships, where we have 3 different tiers providing you special emojis, shoutouts in the end credits, or early access to episodes of Pine Harbor County. We also have a super thanks, which is a highlighted comment you can purchase and which the proceeds will support the channel directly. And finally, to all those who have purchased highlighted comments, merchandise, or memberships, thank you so much for supporting the channel and playing video games with us. Alrighty, I am wicked excited to start today's build, so kick back, grab your caffeinated beverage of choice, and let's jump right on into it. I'm going to start today's episode by building the framework for our road layout, and I'm aiming for blocks nice and even so the wall-to-wall assets that are featured in the French asset pack are flushed and neatly placed against one another. This is easier said than done, so let's try our hand at keeping the zoning consistent and from breakages in this time lapse. I want to try creating a unique feature here as well, using our quay walls and the French water tower. For some reason, when I saw the water tower, it made me almost think of a lighthouse for some reason. Don't ask me why, because I really don't get it myself, but I want to try creating a little jetty in Alder's Bend with the quay walls and the water tower as a decorative feature. That it will also give us some water supply for Pine Harbor County, but honestly, the decorations. To begin, I want to use our terraforming tool to pull a small sliver of land out into the inner bay area and then clean off the landmass with a quay wall in a similar fashion we have used in all of our industrial piers. I considered using the rocks we got in the detailers patch instead of the quay wall. However, to layer the rocks properly, we need to use Anarchy, and I only have that mod installed to work around a bulldozing conflicts. I would like to try and make a bit of a hook shape as well, so let's jump into a small time lapse and kind of see what we can create. All right, let's wiggle in that water tower and kind of see how it looks. I'm hoping it comes out looking pretty nice. I think we're gonna actually pull it up to about right here. And let's get the road, that dirt road that we built, right on in so that everything connects. Yeah, I think that will do pretty nicely. We'll get some decorations up in here, maybe a little bit of gardening. Wonder if there's any plazas that would go very well in here. Something just to entice people to come down, or Sims to come in here. Could spam these. That would be interesting. I definitely digressed a lot here from what I was planning. But we could get that kind of a hedge garden in there. We'll think about it and kind of consider it later for a beautifying the build time lapse. All right, now let's breathe some unique signature buildings into Alder's Bend, and obviously I want to keep to the French theme of this area, and thus I will only be placing some of the French signature buildings. So let's kind of take a look at what we have here. When we come on in, and I'm just going to filter just into the French, we have a residential building. I had to think about the word there. We have 2 mixed use. Right? Was that 2? Yeah, okay, that was French. 1 commercial, and we're not going to have any in the I take that back. We will have 1 in the offices. None in the industrials, though. So let's kind of find some unique spots to put all of these and just give it some recreation a little bit and some well-being. Next, I want to add some more ploppable parks in this, as I do want to ensure there's adequate recreation and leisure buildings for the residents of Alder's Bend. We have pretty good coverage, but I'd like to add some more. So let's jump on in and do that next. Awesome. Next, let's decorate the area up with some service assets from the French pack provided to us. For Alder's Bend, I am going to provide some more fire coverage, police coverage, and an additional school, or 2 or 3. I'm choosing to add these assets instead of deleting and remaking the ones that we previously built, because I want to see how the North American and French assets kind of look together, and honestly, because we need the additional coverage anyway. So let's start with the fire coverage. We have 2 options here. So we have the French Firehouse, which is a rural fire station that houses a few fire engines, focusing on quick and efficient fire prevention within its coverage area. It can be upgraded with a rapid response garage, firefighters dormitory, garage expansion, and a quick response depot. We also then have the bigger version, which is just the French Fire Station, a well-equipped station that houses multiple fire engines. This facility plays a crucial role in fire prevention and emergency response within its service area. Can be upgraded with a garage expansion and to be decided. Oh, well, that's interesting. I didn't expect the TBD, but that makes me want to place this one down even more. So let's jump on in and let's put the fire station in. Or maybe I will just be a greedy little gremlin and we'll place both. So let's take a look at these add-ons. We can do the garage expansion, which there we go. We can do the garage expansion, which expands capacity with additional garages and a fitness area, boosting both vehicle availability and firefighters' physical preparedness. We could also do the quick response unit, which enhances emergency readiness with extra space for quicker preparation and increased equipment storage. The Rapid Response Garage, which accommodates 2 additional fast units, enabling quicker emergency deployments. And a Dormitory, which is a rest area that enhances firefighters' readiness, ensuring quick response times during emergencies. So let's kind of see where all of these kind of get added on. So that one goes within the existing footprint. Also within the existing footprint. And those look like additional wings. It bothers me that the roof tiles aren't the same. A lot. So I think for the sake of my pickiness, we will just add the garage extension and the quick response unit because, I mean, I'm gonna be adding both of them, so we will be perfectly fine with adequate enough coverage. All right, now let's put in the larger fire station, and I'll probably put this on the south side since we placed the other one on the north side. Now let's take a look at the add-ons for this one. So we have 2 of them. We have the Emergency Response Annex, which expands the station with 5 additional vehicle spaces. This upgrade boosts the station's ability to respond rapidly and handle multiple emergencies simultaneously. And then we have a garage expansion. So let's see where these fall in. Ooh, I kind of like that. Ooh, that makes that chunky and I like it. Yeah, that's getting added. I like that too much. Okay, let's see where the garage gets added onto. Again, the different roof throws me off. But admittedly, I have never been to France, so if that's normal that the roofing tiles is different, just let me know. Like, is that normal that there's orange roofs and blue roofs? But I think we'll go with it for now. It's not as prominent as it was on the smaller fire station, so maybe the variation in color would look nice. All right, now let's look at the police stations. And honestly, for the police stations, I might just add both of them because I think they're gonna fuse together really well. So again, I'm doing this for a decoration purpose. We probably, I mean, it doesn't look like we need the coverage, but if I go like this, and I turn on that imported city services, again, I don't think this is helping us at all if I plop these, but there's definitely something I'm not understanding as to why, if I click on that checkbox, we're importing, 20 million in police services. So, you know what? Without this on, we have the budget. So let's do it. Let's add those on in and let's layer them and kind of fuse them together somehow. Okay, one, I definitely get carried away with the decorating opportunities, and two, goodness, is this content pack giving us lots of decorating opportunities. Let's jump in and let's kind of look at the add-ons now that I've placed stuff in that I definitely don't want to delete. Let's start by assigning the district, and we're just gonna call this the All right, so we'll name this one the Alder's Bend Police Station Auxiliary Building. And we'll name this one Alder's Bed And let's start looking at the add-ons to our main building here. So we can add a facility expansion, which is a modern addition for the headquarters following the interior renovation of the building, which allowed extra space for underground garage expansion. New wing is used by surveillance units, bolstering security of the area of operations, and cafe boosts the well-being of the officers. And then we have extra detention cells. Let's see where these are kind of being added on here. All right, so the detention cells are right inside, so I'm just gonna add that. And the facility expansion is also inside, so why not? All right, on to the next building. So the smaller version provides a garage expansion, increases the capacity of the station by adding additional spaces for vehicles. That one's inside, but I kind of like the inner courtyard, so we're not gonna add that one for now. But just look at this, guys. Got some little flower beds, a little corner park. And I really like how this came out. I never thought of using the sand surface to create a little garden bed within tiled surface, so happy with that. This is coming together pretty nicely thus far, so let's work on our next services, which will be education. And education, we actually get 3 assets. We get an elementary school, a high school, and a college. So I think I'm gonna add all 3 down. And I think right here might not be a bad spot for it. It's a little bit steep in its terrain, but we can use the key walls to kind of create a unique landscape feature here. All right, let's take a look at what we get for some add-ons. Starting with the high school, we get some science labs, which increases our student capacity and provides additional science labs built on the rooftops as structural extensions, increasing the education quality. And we have a courtyard extension, which provides extra space for students, providing amenities for their well-being as they prepare for exams. If there are any French viewers out there, do you guys have to take an exam to graduate high school? That is my question to you. I will add the science labs in, as I think that's perfectly reasonable, and I will add in the courtyard because, as you can see, I have a little footpath that I provided right along the back here that I'm hoping to do a little beautifying in a second. It's also actually square it off next to the building here. There we go. All right, let's look at the college next. So rooftop leisure area, a rooftop space to unwind or chit chat with colleagues. Umbrellas increases the capacity though, so I am down for that, especially because now you can look over the inner bay for it. All right, let's start with the elementary school. Courtyard sunrooms, 2 additional sunrooms with playroom areas within. They provide plenty of light for when the weather gets colder or worse, but it increases my student capacity. So there we go, because I do plan on zoning this area in, and our elementary schools are already toughing it out a little bit, so some extra capacity is not a bad idea. Ooh, that looks pretty nice. I really like the decorating opportunities with the wall-to-wall assets. Like, just so much. Like, we kind of zoom around here. This one stands out a little bit, but it's just so good. Anywho, so there is one last asset that I want to add, which I actually almost forgot about, and that is right here. We have a French City Hall. So it's minus 1% loan interest and minus 2% import costs, but it's French. So let's add this in somewhere, and I think I'm gonna give it its own space. So that would be really close to a welfare office, but I think this is where it's gonna be most appropriate. And then let's just add in the urban planning office and the municipal court. Perfect, I think I like that a lot. All right, now I wanna make sure the tram line comes down into the western part of Alder's Bend so that the residents can connect into the regional train system. So let's plop in some tram track stops and try to stretch the tram line into the western part of this city. Originally, I was thinking of adding a second line, but I wanna see how bloated our capacity gets before we have the county spend money on a second line that may or may not be necessary. Okay, I ended up doing both lines. I just can't help myself sometimes. I just really like transportation. So let's finally get some zoning in here and start breathing in some life and letting the Sims move into Alder's Bend. I'll probably create a variety of zoning types to experiment and see how the assets fuse together, and then some blocks that are all office, commercial, or residential to see how that looks as well. Honestly, this entire asset pack is gorgeous, so if you play Cities Skylines 2 and haven't downloaded this yet, you definitely should. Alrighty, I think that just about wraps up today's episode. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like below and let me know your thoughts on today's build. Next week, we will continue to explore the new content creator packs by focusing on a German-based city over in Ashton, so be sure to tune in next week. Finally, if you're looking for a new series to binge watch between now and then check out the entire Build and Beautify Season 1 playlist located in the description below, or our Build and Battle Season 3, our Manor Lords Let's Play located in the info card above. Until next time, I hope everyone has a phenomenal week.